Just got this in the mail today. Oh man, they use that popcorn foam shit. It's another gun. Yeah. Can't have too many guns. Smell the packing oil. These boxes been around the block a few times. It's Canadian law, gotta have a trigger guard. So this animal is a Colt Dragoon, in case you haven't already guessed it. It's a third model. Has the nice round trigger guard, round back, doesn't have the square back trigger guard on it. And it's one oily bugger. It's a little smaller than the Walker Colt. Has a shorter barrel and a shorter cylinder. There's the Colt Dragoon sitting underneath its predecessor, the Walker Colt, and the Dragoon pretty much is a lighter by about half a pound, not quite half a pound, stronger, improved version of the Walker. Its improvements would include shorter cylinder, so you can't put you probably couldn't get over 50 grains in, which I think is about what they used. This one was good for 60, but they tended to blow up. Of course, the metallurgy back then wasn't all that great either, compared to today's, of course. 9-inch barrel, 7.5-inch barrel. Even the forcing cone area here and the area for the loading lever is shorter, smaller, all making for a lighter revolver. This third model has the round trigger guard, which I prefer myself. I think most folks do. I see most folks have the third model. Got the catch on the loading lever. These guys like to pop open under heavy loads. I mean, I like this fella, but this guy's got some pretty good improvements. They're both Ubertis, and they got nice varnished walnut grips on both of them. They're not just oiled. Fit and finish is really nice, like I mentioned before. So there's a few differences, all improvements. So this is almost like a prototype. The first model Dragoon, I believe, was pretty much made up of parts from the Walkers, from what I read. And then there was a second model Dragoon. It still had the square back trigger. And then the third. By the time you got to the third, it was a gun of its own. Another difference with the third model Dragoon, and I believe the second and third model had the cylinder notches were rectangular versus the oval cylinder notches. The first model Dragoon still had the oval cylinder notches. You have a look there. There's you got the more rectangular one there with the nice slope going into it. The springs, the hammer springs are different. I think there's the second model. They started using the flat leaf style spring instead of the V-shaped spring that's in this. I'm not going to go tearing them apart right now. And I think the first models, they ran them between 1848 and 1850. The second models was 50 and 51. And then this third model was 1851 through 1860. And again, the 1860 Army took over from there. And of course, they're both 44 caliber. One quick final rundown on the differences. The shorter barrel, loading lever catch, rectangular notches versus the oval, and the old spring type catch here that just kind of let the flop open. And rounded trigger guard, had a different spring for the hammer. This one's got the square back guard. Shorter cylinder, lighter gun. And this guy ran from 1851 right up till 1860. As you can see, there's going to be some Captain Ball revolver videos coming up.